Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. Well, I'm not going to say that this episode is going to be special as nothing what you have, never seen before. Honestly, it's going to be just another episode where I'm going to talk about Terraform. Well, it's not a big surprise for most of you, I guess. But, anyway, thanks for finding time for joining, and I hope you will be learning something from today's episode, because writing HCL and Terraform in general is not very easy. Well, it is not easy at all. And more I work with Terraform and HCL, less I understand how people can like it and how people can make something good out of it, and then they say like, oh my god, Terraform is the best tool out there. Well, yes, it is very good. It is the best one. But we are far, far away from where we will have to go if we want to succeed with all of this infrastructure as code movement. So, enough all of these traditional things. Let's get into this. So I want to say thanks to N0. I can see that my green background has moved. Let me move it a little bit, because it should be perfect, right? Like this. Okay, now it's almost perfect as I want it to be. So thanks to N0 for supporting my live stream. And for those who don't know, N0 is providing an automation platform to run Terraform and TerraGrant and some other custom workflows which you can configure in YAML file. So if you're interested, go to n0.com slash Anton, of course, and then you will learn more about it. So thanks for them to support my channel. So I want to say big round of applause, like virtual round of applause, to my friend Denis Astahov, who has been awarded AWS Community Hero yesterday. Finally, after gaining almost 70 or more than 70,000 subscribers and creating a lot of videos on AWS and some Terraform and some Kubernetes and many other topics, after he has created all of this material, he's definitely the most recognized guy in educational segment among Russian-speaking community. So if you don't know of Denis, then, well, you probably don't speak Russian or Ukrainian. But I'm really glad that he joined us, and it's really good achievement. So his link to channel is ADVIT. ADV, I forgot what it means. He told me, but I forgot what it means. Anyway, I think it is advanced. Yeah, I think it is advanced IT for short. So here you can see all of his videos. I will put link in description. And I think if you speak Russian, then you already know about this channel. But anyway, it's good to share good stuff, I think. So, well, this week was a little bit extreme, I have to say, because I've been working pretty much every day, full day, on just Terraform AWS modules. We fixed a lot of stuff together with a lot of other contributors, and we've had pretty interesting discussion, which is Terraform AWS modules office hours. It was our second episode. Well, the first one or previous episode was approximately a year ago. So this is a good opportunity for us to go through different things, and there were a lot of issues which people were mentioning over time, and we wanted to discuss them and find solution to them. So overall, a link is already in description to the video. You can see it there. What I just want to highlight is that if you've been using EKS module, we're still going to support it, and I will talk about this in a minute. There are a few changes in terms of who's going to maintain it primarily, how we are going to do it, and so on. So if you're interested, check out this video, and there is a timeline. Of course, you cannot skip Independence Day of Ukraine, which was a few days ago. So just click on this timeline and find whatever is most relevant for you. You will hear about this as we progress. And also I want to say thanks to David Rogachevsky from Poland, who has been very active since that time, and well, he was active before that as well. He wrote a lot of comments, a lot of participation and dedication in EKS module in particular. So thank you, David. Okay, let's move on. Well, what exactly has happened in EKS module? Well, I have to say that I really wanted to avoid being plugged into this module myself for many reasons. Well, among those reasons can be I simply don't have enough time to do even one more module. And the second one is that I don't have enough expertise in how EKS actually work and what is all these things. I was avoiding Kubernetes space for pretty much all my career. Even if I work with EKS on some of my projects, I don't have enough understanding of how things work. But anyway, this EKS module is still being developed. We are going to push more and more things into it. What we did during last few days, as you can see, we merged a lot of pull requests, a lot of issues. I actually made 3 releases. Those releases are slightly different format from what was previously, but I can tell you that we've closed in total approximately maybe 20% of issues during 2-3 days, as well as pull requests. So in total we closed about 20% of issues. I don't know if we did a good job or if we do something very bad. Well, you know how to provide feedback, I guess. You can say this in comments, or you can reach out to me and say, like, Anton, you made this absolutely terrible. Please never do this again, or quit from maintaining Terraform AWS modules. You're doing a very bad job. Well, I'm not gonna to quit anyway, but you can tell this. Okay, so as you can see, a bunch of different pull requests closed. Most of these pull requests were rather straightforward. It's like documentation fixes and small things which we, I mean, when I'm saying we, means people who are maintaining this module still don't have to understand EKS very, very deeply. So that's why rather lightweight things related to small changes and tweaks here and there in node groups, documentation, some easy cosmetic things, I would say. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, we closed 21 issues, and as you can see there, most of these issues were closed with an explanation, not because like, hey, I have no clue what you're talking about, just close it, but we actually explained the problem or the solution, and and I think we also did some explanation work on this issue, which is specifically velocity of this repository, which was a concern for some people because the module was not very active by that time, and that's what we tried to address. And that's it. That's pretty much what I wanted to say about this module. But if you have feedback, once more, please reach out to me or leave a comment somewhere, and we will see how we can improve our process. So far, there are pretty much, or at least during this week, there were very few amount of people from the triage team in Terraform AWS module who were active. So primarily it's like 2-3 people in total. Okay, any questions on that? Just let me know in comments, chat, or anything like that. Okay, one more thing. Earlier this week, I guess a couple days ago, one guy reached out to me and said that it's not the first time, I have to say, but it was rather frequent, approximately a year or two ago. People reach out to me and say like, oh, we want to donate this module, or we want to, we see the Terraform AWS modules. Let me find this page. So Terraform AWS modules, there are like 36 modules or 38 modules, but we can see that there is no support for Service X, for example, which we are using at work, but there is no module for that. Let me donate that module and everything will be fine. My frequent response to that one is that please no. I mean, I don't want to maintain just one more thing because I know that you will push it and then we will have it and then people will start using open issues, but you will be gone like since day one. I've been to this situation, I have to say, more than 10 times already in the Terraform module space. And I don't want to maintain something what I don't know. So I usually say, like, if it is storage gateway stuff or if it is some service which I have no clue how it even works because I never use it, so I say no. But this time I wanted to make a little bit more complete response and say to the guy that, okay, you want to donate module, let's say Athena module, okay? I know what is Athena because I've been using it briefly through console, not through Terraform. Currently, I don't have any projects where I would like to use Athena, but okay. So I asked to create code and do absolutely best thing what you can do so that we can take a look at this module and figure out whether this is something what makes sense or how much effort did you put into it, and then we can understand whether this is a good idea or not. So here is the stuff. I'm going to go through the code a little bit and just explain my thought process and the conclusion which I come pretty much instantly when I open this stuff. So the first thing which I see here, okay, I understand that this is initial setup, but you want me to evaluate it and say what exactly is missing, and these missing bits shouldn't be taking my time, like literally half of the day from my time to make this stuff, to finish it, and then to push it, publish it, maintain it, all this stuff. Obviously, I'm not interested in that one. So when I see a README file and I see one explanation, what is this module about, well, you get the point, right? I mean, this is not the type of documentation which we expect. If you're curious how documentation should look like, I mean, in Terraform AWS modules at least, definition, open any of the modules. And you probably will see a little bit more than just name of the module, right? You will see explanation, what is this about, what kind of assumptions, what kind of nodes, important nodes, usage examples, a bunch of different parameters and combinations of these parameters, how they're supposed to be used, relevant documentation, how to contribute, how changelog was generated, author, license, and then the rest of stuff is automatically generated using Terraform docs and pre-commit Terraform hooks. So as you can see, all of this information is just missing. And this is like red flag number one, so sorry, but this is already too bad. I understand that initial setup may not include this one. Okay, so fine. Second thing which you can see here, even if you, well, you have no clue how to use this module, right? Like I have no clue, because there is no folder called examples. And once more, if you go to any of the modules, you will see very like standard setup. I can look into, well, into a little bit smaller, for example, S3 bucket, where very similar folder structure is, but you will see that there is a folder called examples. And yes, this is again another red flag. If there are no examples, no README in this example, no following exactly the same usage pattern, sorry, but this is not good and it's not going to be accepted. Okay, so this is like second thing which has to be there before we can even talk about it. Because I look into example and I see how things work and how they're supposed to be used and how developer was actually thinking through this. So right now I have no clue how this was supposed to be used. So I look into another file which is main.tf, and then I see another misunderstanding of what is actually here. So first of all, this is resource module around Athena servers. Okay, so what I suppose this module to be doing, again, I don't have README, so it's just my assumption based on how Terraform modules are usually written in the open source, is that there shouldn't be any dependency on other module, especially of specific pin version for any reason. Like that's just not acceptable. User will have to combine this module with something like S3 bucket. Maybe he will bring his own S3 bucket. Maybe he will use our module. But again, it's just like very important. Then when I look into, okay, so we can just skip this one. Okay, this is just should not belong here. Then when I see there are invocation of other modules, like Athena database and Glue catalog table, I already have a lot of questions to all of this. Like, why do I even have these two guys here? Why do I have sub-modules for the database and for Glue catalog table with some parameters here? I would probably be able to understand why this is there if there are an example. But there is no example, so I don't want to spend time looking into main.tf because, well, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, I look into other files just for fun. Module outputs, well, probably nothing to comment at all. Variables, well, pretty easy to spot, right? There are no descriptions, so I have no clue what does it really mean. So no description, but well, it's just not acceptable here. This one is probably good. So if I look into modules, just briefly, because I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff, is again, well, maybe that's enough, but I don't know. I need to look into Athena database. In any case, if there is a resource of certain type, then I expect that if I go to documentation here and if I search, and there are like 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters, then when I go to this file, then there has to be 1, 2, 3. But where is number 4? It's not there. So it's not good again. Terraform AWS modules suppose absolutely all parameters which are available by certain resource. Wrapping one resource into a module is treated as best practice in 99% of cases, especially using latest version of Terraform. It was a good idea back then when we wrap, let's say, security group back in 2008 or 9, no, not 8, 2018 or 19, when we didn't have easy way to use for each. But right now, this is just, it shouldn't be a module. That's pretty much what I want to say. So I think if I will make a kind of short link to what I just explained, and I will try to point it to other people who want to donate something so that they don't do the same errors or the same mistakes over and over. Well, description not available. Well, yeah, that's kind of bad. Okay, enough for this one. Let's do something complicated. Okay. So let me see in my program. Yeah, right. Okay. What I wanted to go through today. First of all, I asked a lot of people in LinkedIn. Well, not a lot of people, but I asked in LinkedIn, but LinkedIn decided to not put my question into timeline or into newsfeed for many people. So this question got very few views, and as a result, nobody suggested me any issue you want to go through, and we discuss it. If you have such issue in mind, please let me know and we can discuss it. But I want to do, like, since there is no feedback from anyone, I want to work on this stuff. So let me explain one of the most strangest or one of the most complicated and weirdest issue in Terraform AWS modules is related to, well, where is even input? Right. Okay, that's a good example. So what is the problem? Route 53 module has possibility to create records inside of DNS, and if I look into records, so let me open an example. Yeah, here is an example. So maybe make font a little bit bigger because it's important stuff. So it has to be big on your screen so that you see like, oh my god, this is so big, so important. Okay, so this is how you invoke this module block, and this is where you specify what kind of records do you want to create inside of this zone. Okay, and what is the bad or strange thing here? Depending on what kind of values you specify inside of records, or depending on what type of records you specify inside of these var records, Terraform will fail or will successfully create them. So if I look into this list, you can see that this is list of map of anything, right? Because there is string. No, this is not string. This is already a list. And this is already a list. So what type of data is it? Well, probably it is list of anything, right? Because this is anything, you cannot convert it, or you cannot make it more descriptive, so it's any, list of any. What I had inside of my code was that I was not even able to specify this as a list of any. I just specified any, because, well, in most cases, this is the best solution to my mind, if you don't want to go into details of how type conversion works across Terraform. So I'm just explaining the problem here, okay? We will play around and we'll try to make different types of records and see if it works, and maybe this pull request even work. Let me open the historical issue. Well, this issue is from May, and this issue was so here you can see a lot of people here are using TerraGrant, and well, including myself, I was able to reproduce the issue, then I fixed the issue, but apparently I didn't fix it for all cases, so that's again challenging. As you can see, records is here list of anything, right? A list of anything, and that's pretty much it. Then there was long discussion, and here is another interesting thing. Depending on what version of Terraform you use, you may have this error or you may not have this error. So sometimes it works, sometimes not. Then if we go further, then somewhere around 11th of June, I made a wrapper where I convert everything into string using jsonencode, and that's it, and I was happy because it worked. But then I spent another 3 hours figuring out that depending of length of records, like this has length 1 and this has length 2. Depending of this information, Terraform would be able to convert it into something or not convert it. If I would have these records of the same length, like this one has 1 record and this one, if it will have only 1 record, then it would work. Now this is silent moment for everyone to think about this on Earth, why this could even be an issue, right? So then I come up with different combinations of examples where this error can be reproduced. And we had another discussion there. So, well, it is quite easy to reproduce. So let's go into the code and see if I'm still able to reproduce it with the code. Okay, let me put this question comment from Mohammed. I got this error. Instances failed to join the Kubernetes cluster Terraform. Not sure I understand the question. What kind of error? Related to what? Okay, I got error. Instances failed to join the Kubernetes cluster Terraform. Well, I think it's better to ask this question maybe on discuss forum, discuss.hashicorp.com, if it is related to Terraform, because, well, without seeing code, without executing anything, I don't know what can be the problem. There can be thousands of different issues. The best solution for this one is to search exact error message somewhere inside of if it is related to EKS, well, search somewhere here inside of issues of Terraform provider AWS, or maybe it's related to Kubernetes behavior itself. I mean, if you search somewhere in Terraform provider AWS, or, well, Stack Overflow should be a pretty good source of the information. But I don't think I will be able to help without spending significant amount of time and actually doing exactly the same procedure as you can do. I mean, Google should help. Okay, so let's see, Route 53. It's going to be this module. I just close some Spotify just so that I don't turn on music by accident and you guys listen my music. Okay, so Route 53, let's see what I can do for that. So inside of Route 53 there is example, main. So this example here is already pretty good and it's already pretty big. I mean, it will take some time to create all of this record. So let me make just a little bit smaller example with that. Or, well, how can I make it? So what I don't want to make like CloudFront and S3 buckets, just because it will take some time to create these resources. So I will turn it off. So I actually like quite much how Route 53 module has been developed over time, because more people are using it and it's growing nicely. I will probably have to keep this S3 bucket, but I'm not gonna to make CloudFront VPC. Do I need VPC? No, I don't need VPC. Health check. Well, we don't need health check. So I'm gonna to remove a lot of stuff from this example just so that it works. And it will be enough anyway to reproduce. Well, it's so good that spammer want me to be famous and sending me spam live. Thank you. I appreciate that at least somebody wants me to be famous. Okay, so okay, that should be good. So there are no errors here. No errors here. Good. So if I now go to examples and complete, and if I now, so what of TF? No. Version. Okay, I have pretty good version Terraform init. Just for fun, I want to upgrade to the latest so that it's really kind of latest and best version. Let's see. So now it sometimes fail because what already so fast it will be known after apply. Oh, right, okay. Depends. Do I have to run this? Well, that's another thing which is a little bit irritating right now, but okay, I will. It's not related to the issue which I'm trying to fix here. So how to make it? So the problem here is that it's referencing records or zone which is not created yet. That's a pretty good idea to make it. So I'm gonna to make zones first, and then I can reference them inside of records. So let's see. It should be pretty fast. So as you already can see, inside of records I have some different types of items. Like this one is a record with single record inside of list. This one is an alias, so there are no records because this is an alias. And this one is well, I don't need it to be honest, because it's the same. It's just records with one element. But okay, let's see. So now I made zones. Now I want to run this. What? Zone name. I don't feel comfortable fixing this now because it was working before. Why it's not working anymore? Is it my really latest code? Yeah, it should be latest. Okay, let's see what is this about. So somewhere zone name. Will it work if I just uncomment? Ooh. I clicked too many different buttons here. So let's see. What's this? Do I change it in the wrong place? No. Invalid for each argument. What? No. Zone name. Record set. Okay, let's look into what kind of stuff is inside of this records module. So record set is referencing records and records. Right, so I think this one is problem. No, this All right. Okay, so this was a fix which I added for TerraGrant 11th of June, but it doesn't seem to be working as expected. So I just comment it out here and I use var records here instead. Will it work now? Is a string. What? Var records is a string. What? Who told you that this is string? It's any. Ah, right, of course. It is a string when it is provided by TerraGrant, because that's a fix which, well, we can skip TerraGrant for now. Well, I can see that it's going to be a lot of fun because, as I said, I spent, well, in total more than probably 5 hours on this module, and I still couldn't figure out the main problem with it, because sometimes it worked, sometimes not. Okay, so what is this now? There is no support for for TerraGrant. That's why records should be always provided as a list. Okay, that's good. For some people this sounds very logical. Well, it's okay. 2020, it's a year old. Right, so it was any for a very long time, no problem with it. So let's apply this code. Let's see if we can create what we wanted, and then I will try to make it fail without TerraGrant. So let's see, it's still making something. While it's doing something, I want to check what kind of versions are we talking about here. So 2.1, the same setup working with 2.0. Okay, yeah, that was the problem. So for some people it worked with 2.0, but didn't work with 2.1. So let's see what is actually the difference between those versions. If I go to changelog. So 2.1 contains only fix related to TerraGrant, which I have just removed. Yeah, I have to say I was so proud that when I fixed 39, I said like, oh my god, it's gonna to work so nicely with TerraGrant. Also, there is solution for TerraGrant users. Like, I was really happy that I discovered such hack solution. Well, this hack solution is already in use in a few other modules, like Lambda module, when it is being used with TerraGrant, as well as S3 bucket has similar fix. So this is it. This is a fix which I just removed. Yeah, so exactly, I just reverted this fix. Good. So I have created records which I wanted. So now let's make some bad things. And by the way, why did it take so long time to make all of these records? No crazy resources, right? No, just records. Okay, so let's see. I want to add another one, which is going to be a of another, and it's going to be another IP just for fun, and it's gonna to work, right? Because records is the same length. Oh my god, you don't see my screen now. Okay, so it's gonna to create it, no problem. What if I make another record? It's what? Oh, right, okay. No, it's not. It doesn't mean 2 records. It means 1 record because it was the same. Now, if I make 2 distinct records, is it gonna to work? Well, looks like. Well, no, it will just succeed. Okay. So let's shut up and read the description. I mean, the description of this issue. This was, let's read the last one because this was pretty recent. So after upgrading Terraform from 14 to 1, the module stopped working correctly. Well, that's too bad. Okay, but what kind of module version does this person use? It's hard to figure out which version he used. Okay, reproduction. Yeah, this should be helpful. I got 1 MX record, 1A, 2 TXT, 4 CNAME. Yeah, but I guess MX record is already a multi-record. Apply module, upgrade Terraform to version 1.0. Terraform workspace not used, that's good for you. One less problem. It's not possible to use module after upgrading Terraform. Okay, I have similar issue using module version 1.9. Well, 1.9 is pretty old, I would say, but okay. Map has no element for required attribute. What? What does this even mean? Well, this is about another issue, I guess. This is not about module records, it's about zones. So that's different. Well, there is another fix which somebody recommended, is to change type of well, yeah, that's changing. Well, this is just wrong. There seems to be fix for 39, but I think we still have a problem. Well, apparently we do. As in the example, we should wrap records variable by the JSON code. In my case, it did not help and I still got the same behavior as yours. But I think I found an issue. Okay, so the issue here is changing from, well, we added jsonencode specifically for Terraform. Okay, so it's good idea to change it, but if you want to use Terraform, well, you cannot do this. No upgrades required. 2.2 was failing for me out of the box with this version. Well, that's exactly what I want to do, right? So I have an S, couple NS records, and 1 CNAME. This is gonna to be a list of 4 records, and this is also a list of 4 records. Okay. Okay. So let's try to bring this guy here and see how to make it fail. So well, so it should be a couple records with 4, 10, 11, 12, 13. Another one also with 4, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, and one more cname with just 1. Okay, so we need to remove this one. That's actually important, I remember. So cname, we don't need anything like this. So cname with this record, that's it. Again, we remove the rest because that's actually, I remember, was quite interesting to see. It works depending on what kind of input you provide. So 1, 2, and 3. Good. Apply. Apply, but well, it probably will work. No, it doesn't work already. That's exactly. Element must match for conversion to map. So now, if I go to this guy and I change it to the same Europe 2, 3, 4, so we have 4 elements everywhere, and apply. Will it work? Ta-da! It works. So how on earth it is even possible? If I specify list of 1, then it fails. If many, then it's well, I just cannot understand the logic here. Okay, what if we go to variables and we change this to be list of any? Because that was the proposal in one of the fix. So what it means is that now we'll tell Terraform to have list of any, and it works. So list of any works. Okay, if I now uncomment this 4, will it still work? Well, it will. So fantastic. So if I specify, so if it is records as a list, then it works as expected. But once more, the reason why I specified this as any is because I wanted to use a string. Terraform obviously does not support multiple types like list of any or string, so that's why I put any. Okay, well, list of any works quite nicely. What can we do with TerraGrant users? So TerraGrant will be able to provide what it can provide. So TerraGrant will provide string of this stuff. No, I'm just thinking that it can be just another variable, which is like TerraGrant specific records as string, which is ugly as hell, and I don't want to even think about it. But does it really work for TerraGrant? That's a question which I have, because here, as I can see in example which I had, and I actually use it for some of my projects, but it's not very complicated, the same as here. So I have records and I have alias, and that's it. So what else can be done here? Okay, let's try to think about this one step at a time. So let's make problematic case. Okay, this one was problem where I had several lengths, right? And it works. Let me double check, but I think it will work. Well, yeah, it will work. I can just type yes and see. Okay, if I now want to change this stuff and I want to add another guy here, which is going to be an alias. What else I can do? You know what I can do? I can... Well, that's another hack, but what I can still do. Here I convert from list to map with unique keys, so that it is possible to iterate through specific records without touching everything else. So that's why, as you can see, name cannot be created, exist in the same name. Well, yeah, but this is just because I specified wrong values for the records, but it's okay. So here I'm iterating through records and I'm making keys for that. So what is this? So I'm making keys, but I'm keeping the same values of the records as is. But I can definitely do the normalization of this RS and make sure that there is always, let's say, records and alias. So I can make records as well as alias there inside of RS. So I can modify this guy here. And not sure this is the best approach, because, well, user specify me one thing and then I modify it even transparently for him. It's not a good thing. So okay, so so here we are. Another gear. What else? No, where is this? Okay. So let's see if I now have this. So now I have records, alias, and records here. If I now roll back this change to use the same any as before, it will work. And while it's thinking, the reason why it is working is because there are two values, records, and there are records and alias. Yes, there are records and alias. Okay. So I'm not sure which problem to fix. Like first, if I can specify, I can modify this guy. This is quite easy and very straightforward. But I can also do another thing here. which is going to be okay, let's put really problematic case first here. So different lengths, different lengths, and type is any. So this is problematic case. Yes. Okay, let's fix this one. How to tackle this one? So if we modify this rs here, what can we modify to even? I mean, we cannot put to map here, because even if we expect this to be to map, I mean, this is obviously map for normal person, but it's not, because values are of different type. This is string, 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 and this is something. So the error will be like, hey, cannot convert to, well, the same error. But what we can do, instead of using to map, we can, what can we do? Well, I think to map will not work here, but we can merge. What if we merge rs with another map which will contain key? Well, it should be another way around, right? We want to have records as a list, as well as alias as a map. Right, alias, yes, okay, cool. So we have these keys always, then we merge it here. Good. Let's do some output rs local record set, just to be able to see this stuff somewhere here. I need to put it as well here. It's going to be module dot records dot rs. Okay. So if I now run apply, it will it fail? Well, yes, it will probably fail, or not, or yes. Inconsistent conditional results. Well, I know that it's inconsistent, so that's why I want, okay, I want it to be, okay, let's put it like this. So first of all, I want to check that merge will add alias into this set. Right. So my rs contains map of alias, which is always there, as well as records. So records, all this stuff is there. Well, I find this problem as something what I'm fixing in absolutely wrong place, because first of all, it's just common sense to me that it has to be a bug somewhere in Terraform, but I didn't find a link or any mention of that inside of Terraform, though I probably have to open an issue. But how to do this without providing too much details about these records and all these modules? I don't know yet. So that's why I'm fixing it in module, and hopefully some other guy will open an issue and we take it seriously there. Okay, what I can do, and that's the best thing which I have just imagined, is that I will simply make string of these records here, and I don't care about what's going on inside of the module. I think that's the best thing which I can do. So I'm gonna to merge records. Well, records is gonna to be, so whatever user gives to me, I'm gonna to override records provided with JSON. Well, jsonencode, is it good? Is it good? No, it's not good. It should be just join. Join should be enough. Can it be? No, it shouldn't be. Join will introduce another character which can be used inside of record itself, if it's txt record, for example. So it's bad. So jsonencode is the safest way here. jsonencode of rs records. Okay. So I'm gonna to merge rs with this record. Well, it's gonna to be as jsonencode string. For now, I don't care about alias here. Well, I probably can remove it even from here. Okay, and then inside of lookup records blah blah blah, I will simply do JSON decode of whatever I got. So there are a few edge cases, of course, where things are not present, but for now I don't care about this. So I'm going to do JSON decode or null. Let's see if while it's doing something, let me run it and see if it's even written correctly. I will have to add try around it to make sure that it's actually using null. So here is it. It's JSON encode of whatever I provide, and that's perfect. But it's not a big surprise because they're of the same length. Now, if I do this on a different length here, cool. So it's different lengths and it works as expected. So JSON encode, I like try. So I'm trying to do JSON decode of each value records. Well, hopefully it works. If it's successful, then use it. If not, then null, and well, that's it. Okay. Well, it's not the first time when I use JSON encode internally inside of module, just because I'm lost with data types in Terraform, but this time is helpful. Okay. Well, I think it's gonna to work quite nicely, but let me just run it and see if I'm able to create these records. I will add few conditions here to make sure that I only use records if they were provided. Okay. Let's see, still destroying. Good. What is this? Oh, you're right. So the values are JSON encoded lists. That's good. But nevertheless, I was able to make this records. So records were successfully created. It's pretty good. Okay, I think that's it for today. I will finish this pull request and happily verify it with the rest of contributors. So thanks everyone for watching this, and have a great day. See you. Bye.